Hi guys, welcome back to PBTV, and we have had a new delivery of PTS, including all the new Griffin suppressors and tracer units. So we're going to do a little bit of an unboxing. We also have some new flash hiders, muzzle brakes, tuning forks, all sorts of different things that go with the original dead air suppressors that we've had in the past. We've got some examples behind me that I can bring up and just show you how builds look once these things have been put together. But we're going to go through the PTS Griffin new range. There's blast shields, there's R22s, GP5s, all sorts of stuff. The blast shield is a standalone. All the others are in tracer variant and it's called non-US variant because they are foam filled over here. The US have to jump through some hoops to get that. So the first one we are going to start with is the PTS GP5. So we've got two boxes. As you can see, new packaging from PTS, bringing the Griffin licensing to airsoft, and all of them come nicely wrapped in bubble wrap and drop it out. So this is the PTS Griffin GP5. When I first got this out of the box, it does look a little bit strange of which way does it go on, this end or that end. But the real version, it's obviously tooling and things like that, but you have got some deep engraved markings on here rather than just being lasered on. It is deep engraved in there, so the Griffin armament, and we do have the PTS stuff on there. So this is a direct thread version. This just goes straight on, and there is a little hole just there that allows you to put a grub screw in it so you can lock this in. Again, this is the non-US foam-filled one, so you do have springs inside that are guiding the foam. The tracer version, so exactly the same suppressor, but getting out a little bit heavier, a little bit more weighty, because this thing does have the tracer unit inside. Again, there is quite a decent size hole at the front there, so you will get a muzzle flash option, and again, you can undo these to turn them on, turn them off. So simply undoing the front cap, you get your spring and you get your tracer unit inside. You can charge it in situ, and it has got some sort of retention rings around the side, so you can move roughly where that is. Personally, and from experience as well, screw that back on, a lot of the times it is usually better to have the trace unit at the back here. Sometimes it's not possible if you've got a longer barrel and you want to move it around. If you're using the suppressor to cover a bit of it in a barrel and you still want the trace unit, you can swap it around. But normally it is slightly better to have it further at the back, purely because if there is any deviation in your BB as you're moving around or anything like that, there's less chance of it catching on the tracer unit inside. So that is the GP5. We've got both variants of that. Coming on to the blast shield. So this is a little bit of a standalone variant. And I do have an example of the flash hider that is needed for this. So a flash hider is not included in this one. If it's a direct thread one, it obviously screws straight on. This one does need a flash hider. So it's a little blast shield, little short, stubby, almost adhering back to the Warden style system. But you do have a metal plate here that you simply push up and then you push the pin out like so. As you can see, there's nothing in there. You can't screw this on. What you actually need is an original birdcage style flash hider. So we've got a Delta Armory here. As you can see, this is the birdcage flash hider, and there are two flats on the side. You can line this up, drop it down, and it locks in place, and as you can see, it can look quite neat. They can be a bit finicky to get on, so that I wouldn't really call them QD as such. They are technically QD, but with the metal bar having to be pulled and things like that, it's not something you're really going to do in-game. And with the flash hider coming down here, it might be quite difficult to fit any kind of a tracer system in here. So this one is purely aesthetical. There's no foam in here or anything like that. It's purely for looks, but it does look very cool at the front, and it just adds, especially like maybe on a CQB platform, it will add a very good vibe. So we then coming on to the R22 modular. So we have a taper mount on these, and both non-US and tracer variant. So there's multiple parts in these boxes. We do have the thread at the front. But again, pulling these out, they remind me very much of like the SIG style suppressor. So if you're building maybe an MPX or an MCX, I think this is a really, really cool system. Again, you can unscrew the front, and we do have the other style of thread on there. These can all be taken apart into various different sections. So we take the taper thread off at the back, and you do have the flash hider in there. Again, allowing you to run this however you want. And if we want to take this flash hider out, so we do have a tuning fork, the blast shield style system, and then all the gubbins inside. So a lot of the PTS suppressors now, especially the non-US variants, the ones that we are allowed, do have true baffles in them. So foam-filled used to be a thing. There's still foam-filled elements of them. But especially people that have got hold of the dead airs, they have true plastic baffles in that you can take apart and adjust however you want, and that's the other thread system as well. So looking at that, that is the just the straight normal suppressed version, and then we have also the tracer version. Again, does come with the charging cable and exactly the same system in here. You can bring the back end off, remove the blast shield style system. There is a plastic cap in there just to keep this bit all safe and intact. And again, on this one, it's not really QD. The thread, it does thread in. It's not a lock system. But again, for this one, you're going to have to take the front dome cap off here to get to your tracer unit, but you can charge it in situ. There is a little spring system in there to keep this nice and tight. Again, markings-wise and shape and size, this thing's going to look really, really cool on like an MPX, an MCX, sat inside a little rail system. This one is a little bit heavier. Obviously, there's a lot of metal work down here, so it is noticeably heavier than some of the other systems. It is a big chunk of machined metal. But all the engravings are on here, all the licensing, and it looks very, very cool. Coming on to the other R22. So this is a shorter version, and again, we've got multiple thread systems in here, and this, again, is the direct thread version. So instead of having a flash hider and a blast shield, we do have just a straight 14mm counterclockwise thread, and you can see this doesn't have the taper system at the back with the flash hider. This is just designed to go straight onto a 14mm. A little bit shorter. If you're looking for saving some sort of length on your platform, this is probably your option. Again, we have the non-US version, and we do have the adapter on the end there, and then we do also have, with its cable, the tracer version. So identical to what you've just seen, a little bit shorter than the taper screw-on version, but again, you can take the cap off, the tracer system is in there, and you can charge it in situ. So the actual plug is on the front side. Take this side off. You can take the back end off and change it. So if you do have a taper system, or you want to change the out, these things are an option. So you can then undo this bit here and change it to the other one. So you have 14mm clockwise and counterclockwise options with the R22s. The taper system, that's mounted with a flash hider, so you are stuck to 40mm counterclockwise. So the extra accessories that have come in, we do have some of the shorter muzzle brakes and flash hiders, and we do have the long muzzle brake as well. So people that have had dead airs before, the QD style system that PTS do, you get the normal tuning fork style flash hider, it drops in, and you can simply tighten it up, and it is good to go. Some people not overly keen on this system. Again, when it's looking on maybe a CQB platform or say the CGS that we've got here. So we do have a CGS built up with some optics and everything, and obviously we do have the dead air on it. So simply by undoing this system, you can whip that off, and you do have quite a long flash hider style system. Some people were thinking this was too long, and they wanted a shorter system to get the full use or full capabilities out of a CQB platform. So with that back on, we'll drop that one back out, and we will look at the micro systems. So there's two micro systems and a normal muzzle brake. So the flash system, same as the one that came with it. This is a half size or a shorter version of that. Again, purely for aesthetics, but again, if you are playing in multiple sites and you do want that slightly different look, you can see there is a great big size difference. And again, with the tuning fork capability, it's a little bit high pitch, so you can change the tone of your gun. So as you can see, there's two different sizes there. They do still fit perfectly the same. The actual mounting system here is identical, and they both still come with grub screws as well, so you can tighten these on and make sure that QD system functions properly. So if you're not a fan of the flash hider style system and you want something completely different, we do have two muzzle brake style systems here. So again, we've got the longer one, and I do have an example of this on a platform that I'll show you in a second. So we've got the longer one, and again, the half size one for people that are wanting, again, it's purely for aesthetics purposes. So these are the two muzzle brake options that we've got here, long and short. And then if we grab Mike's platform here, so he's got his custom build here. He has put the longer muzzle brake on there, so you can see it's the same as that one. And if you were wanting the short one, you could do that. And again, very, very simply, you can, even though this is a dead air that originally came with this, they fit straight on, nice and easy, unratchet and undo, and you're good to go. So if you've got a tracer unit, a suppressor unit, or anything like that, and you're wanting to slightly change the aesthetic, this is an option that you have. Obviously, with the tracer units, so we have Mike's tracer version of a dead air here. We do have this cap on the front. There was two options in the box. You had the cap like this, or as an example on the CGS here, you had the open front end if you're wanting to have that blast effect. Again, with PTS doing licensed things, if new caps came out, they obviously did them as well. So they have done a new style front end cap. So this is just a flash cover. So again, it just screws out, but what you get, it's a slightly different front end there. So again, kind of like a jailbreak style system. So again, airsoft, it's not really going to affect anything, but real steel, it's gas deflection and diversion. So it's just giving different effects for gas routing on real steel. But airsoft's all about looks. So if people are going for a look, it gives you a great option there to change something and have something slightly unique and very personal to yourself. So we've covered loads there. All the new PTS suppressors are here, and again, the dead airs are still in stock as well. So if you are wanting to grab one of these and you're not, and the flash hider has been the thing that's been putting you off, we do have the blast shield or the muzzle brake options. Personally, I'm a big fan of the muzzle brake front end on a platform rather than a flash hider. I think it looks meaner, a bit more aggressive, and just a bit more aesthetic. With the grub screws and everything, as you can see, it is true QD, so you can drop this on and off as you feel. So if you've got CQB or outdoors, you're not having to change the flash hider, take it off, and do all sorts. So if you are running and gunning in different places, it is a really cool option. All the Griffin suppressors are in as well. They'll be online very, very soon if they are not already. So if you are doing a build and you've seen these around, you can grab them whilst they last. We've got loads more PTS stuff coming as well, so watch out for more videos in the coming days. Some very exciting new items landing with us that we're very excited to get our hands on and throw down the range as well. So if that's everything for today, thank you very much for joining. Drop a comment down below which is your favourite suppressor or device. If you've already got a Sandman, tag us in a build. We'd love to share them on social medias and Instagram and things like that. If not, let us know which Griffin you're going to throw on one of your builds. But if that is everything for today, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in a bit. Bye.